What's happening? What's happening? What's going on, people? How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? How are we doing tonight? It is a Monday. Monday. I hope each and every one of you have had an awesome weekend and an awesome Monday. Usually Mondays don't go awesome, but I'm just saying. I would have been on at 7. I wanted to come on at 7, but I had to go to Coon Rapids, grab my grandson, and then take him all the way to Brooklyn Park to his training session. He goes to these little, he's 13 now, so we got him in these little training sessions where, we helps him get faster, help him get a lot stronger, and stuff like that. So he works out. He gets a good workout twice a week for an hour, which is a good thing. Got to keep him busy. Sad they didn't get to play basketball this year, but they didn't have. I'm not joking when I say this. This is phenomenal to me because Coon Rapids didn't have enough kids sign up for in-house basketball this year. That is crazy. They could not put together enough teams to have an in-house basketball program. That is crazy. I've never run across that, but that's what happened. So he wasn't able to play basketball this year. Hopefully next year we can do better. We'll get him in something. But what was we talking about tonight? What are we talking about? I end up meeting a guy from where do you say he was from? I'm sorry. I'm running a blank. I'm thinking of 3 things at one time, so excuse me. I am so sorry. Louisville, that's it. So I was speaking to this guy that's running for mayor in Louisville. His brother hooked him up with me, and he'd been looking for me. I had an opportunity to talk to him tonight in a space, and I wish this young man good luck. I hope he takes some of the advice that I gave him, unlike the Republicans here in the state of Minnesota. But I hope he takes some of the advice that I gave him tonight, and he go with it. And if he does, I'm not going to say he wins, but I guarantee you he will definitely get his name out there. Because what a lot of people don't realize, we're so used to this sanitized way of running campaigns that we don't realize that sometimes, yeah, I know it takes money. I get that part. But what people don't also understand, just your everyday person can make a difference for you. Sometimes a lot of people say that. I don't believe my vote even works. If you talk to any of the people in Rocks and Cowland outside of Twin Cities, they swear up and down every single election ever in the state of Minnesota, if they don't win, they're rigged. Every election that the Republican Party don't win here in the state of Minnesota is rigged. But when they win, or if they win those little bitty things in their district, everything's fine. Everything's fine. But if they go and put themselves out there in a statewide election, it's rigged now. It's not rigged. It's not rigged. Let's rip it up. So, Lisa Demoth, and I always mess her last name up, and I'm sorry. I mess everybody's last name up except for my own. Decided that she was going to go ahead and run for governor of the state of Minnesota. And this is how weak the Republican Party thinks that Tim Walz. Hold on, let me show you something. But this is how weak the Republican Party thinks Tim Walz is. Tim Walz. Where is that at? Here it is. Let's. Tim Walz. This is the state of Minnesota. This is the last election, right? This is the last election. This is the state of Minnesota for those who don't live here. I'm gonna break this here. I'm gonna show you something here. Okay. So this is the state of Minnesota. Okay. So you got Duluth. This is what I'm gonna be talking about tonight. Duluth. You got Minneapolis, St. Paul, and then you got Rochester, right? Hold on. I think I can do better with this thing. Anyway, that's what you have. Now I want you to look at all the other parts of Minnesota. Look at that. Now the blue part, as you can see, Democrat. The red part, as you can see, is Republican. Correct? So look at this, so you can understand what I'm talking about tonight. That state right there, you see where all that red is? They lost. They lost. Lost. See what a little bitty blue is? They won. Rochester, Minneapolis, and Duluth. And this year, what's going to really come into play for the Democrats? St. Cloud. No, mark my word when I say that. St. Cloud will come into play for the Democrats. Watch. So, again, for those who are just jumping on, I want you to take a look at that. So you got Duluth, Minneapolis, Rochester, and you see all the blue, the little bitty blue, see all the red, all around all parts of Minnesota. You would think, looking at this map, that the Republican Party blew the Democrats completely out of the water. You would think, looking at that map, that the Republican Party blew the Democrats completely off the map, right? You would think that. Wrong. You would be wrong. You would be wrong. So, I was asked tonight, what did I think about Lisa getting into the race? So, I want you guys to take off your hats, take off. I really want you to think about what I'm saying here tonight. And don't get upset at me. Well, you can, but then I want you to stop for 5 seconds and then think about what I'm saying. And if you're still mad, okay, fine. But Lisa gets in the race, and I'm sitting here going, why? Nobody knows this lady. Nobody knows this lady. And I'm going to show you that nobody knows this lady. So I can go down to Minneapolis, correct? And I walk into a barbershop. And when I was talking to some of the people in the barbershop, I was like, yeah, the Republican Party has 2 black people, somewhat in their party. And everybody and the guys and everybody's like, who? Walter Hudson? And who? Oh, Lisa. And this is after I found out, because I didn't even know she was black. I thought Walter Hudson was the only one. And then all of a sudden, boom, out of nowhere, the Republicans start patting themselves on the back for some reason. Well, because they made her, speaker or president or whatever. Then all of a sudden it's first black Republican, blah, blah. First black Republican, blah, blah. All of a sudden it's first black. Wait a second. I thought y'all said y'all didn't see color. Then all of a sudden now that they need to pat themselves on the back and have a black person so they can go, look, we got one too. Then all of a sudden Lisa emerges. Where before she did everything she possibly could do to keep that black out of there and assimilate herself with whiteness. She did. Because she ain't done a damn thing for black folks. So, first off, they've got to sell her to the white women in the suburbs. That's who they got to sell her to. Because, think about it now. Hold on. Think about it. There's going to be a choice. Kristen Robbins or Lisa? Black woman or white woman? That's going to be the choice. And if you look at the data, especially coming off of Harris, most white women who voted for Harris, the black woman, were what? Educated white women. Look it up for yourself. Look it up for yourself. Most educated white women usually vote for the black person because most educated white women are usually the white liberals who comes into the black community, call themselves helping, correct? So therefore, Kristen Robinson is going to get the uneducated suburban white woman. That's going to be the fight. Watch what happens. There's your fight right there. Who can get that suburban white woman? That's why Kristen Robinson put out the statement that she put out. Hello, suburban white woman. I'm white. Here I am. That's why she put that. She didn't put that statement out for no other. Y'all can believe it if you want to, but I'm not buying it. She put that statement, right away too. She had to drop that statement quick. Hello, suburban white woman. Duh. Do you even think about who you're going to vote for? That's why she put that statement out there. Let's be real about this situation. Can we? No, I told y'all tonight, I may say things are going to piss you off. But if you stop for 5 seconds and think about what I just said, that's why she put the statement out so quick. It was for no other reason. If you believe what you want to believe, that's fine. But I know. I ain't stupid. So that's good. That's the fight right there. Who's going to get that suburban white woman vote? Whoever gets that vote is probably going to get the nomination. But then I also want you to look at something else. Going into the election itself, who can win or pick up votes in Hennepin County? Who can pick up votes in Rochester? Who can pick up votes in Duluth? Now, this is what I know and what I can tell you. If y'all think the NAACP, if y'all think the NAACP is going to do something different than what they did to that winsome female, you're out your mind. You're out your mind. The NAACP is not going just because Lisa decided to come out the closet and let everybody know she black. don't mean that they're going to vote. Black women are not going voting for Lisa. Because Lisa ain't never been in a damn community. If Lisa was serious about running for this office, if she really was serious, you know what she would have been doing like months ago? She would have been at the Juneteenth, walking around shaking hands, talking to people. She would have been at the open streets, walking around shaking hands, talking to people. She would have came to some of the marches or whatever they was having in St. Paul. She would have assimilated herself to the black community and then to the Hispanic community. Do you know how hard it's going to be for the Republican Party? You know how much work the Republican Party has to put in to sell this woman to people? And Republican Party ain't used to working for shit. Let's be real. Let's be honest here. Republican Party don't work for nothing. Hell, they went down there and found some disgruntled. No, they did. They went down there. Republican Party went down and found some disgruntled Somalians, put them in front of cameras as if that was a big deal. Oh, look, we found some Somalians. Those were disgruntled Somalians who got kicked out of the Democratic Party because they didn't want to act right. And then the Republicans go find them, and here they are patting themselves on the back. Look at this. We got us some, we can't call them Negroes. We got something that's darker than us. That's what you did. This is what the Republicans do. That happened right here in Minnesota. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Y'all know it happened. That's what they did. That whole group of Somalians that they found to put up in front of everybody to act like they're actually doing something and they're doing some community outreach crap was the very group that was out here acting a fool. And the Democrats was like, get y'all asses out of here. Y'all ain't got no sense. See ya. And then the Republicans go find a few cast-offs and put them in front of a camera and try to act like they're doing something and knowing they ain't done a damn thing. You liar. That's the type work that the Republicans do when they're dealing with people with a different skin tone. Or they usually go find some coon, Blexit, Officer Tatum. Republicans don't really deal with people like me, real black people who's going to tell them the truth. All them minstrel show participants that Trump pulled up into the office, and they had Black History Month, every single one of them. If Trump told them to jump out the second story of that window, they will jump. That's the type. Because it's always funny how Republicans always, black people, the Democrats got black people on the plantation. And y'all don't even want to deal with black people. You don't want to deal with real black people. You don't want to deal with me. Y'all know that as well as I do. Because I ain't foolish. I ain't stupid. You want to deal with the ones who want to get pub and have a pat on the back, and then they can sit there and go, well, look at me. I left the Democratic plantation. Look at me. I ain't studying them Democrats no more. I'm a Republican. and don't even know what the Republican is about. Ain't studied the Republican Party, don't understand the Republican Party, ain't never done anything with the Republican Party, ain't never been through the Tea Party, ain't never did anything. But if I go over here and fool these here, Candace Owens messed up a lot of black folks. Because they all thought that they can go over here and fool the Republicans and get that bag. That's what this is all about. If y'all think these black folks that y'all done pulled up and put on a high pedestal are serious of talking about being Republican, y'all out your mind. They saw Candace Owens fool white folks. When they fooled the white folks, they got paid. Candace got paid. Brandon Tatum got paid. Who else got paid? Larry Elders has been getting paid cooning for the Republican for years. All of them so-called influence. What's that other? Jeffrey Meade. That's the newest one. That's the newest one. Y'all making rich. That's the newest one. But if y'all think that if the Republicans think that they're going to march Lisa out there, and it's as bad as Tim Walz is right now. Now, the picture that I just showed y'all of Minnesota, I want people who don't live here to understand something. The picture that I just showed you. Hold on, let me. I want to put this back up there because I want you to understand where I'm going with this. This voting map that the Republicans lost. This is the map that the Republicans lost with Scott Jensen and Tim Walz. Now, what I want you to understand about this here situation, what you see here, Tim Walz let the city burn. He let the city burn. And he still won. Hold on now. Yeah. This man let the city burn. And he still beat the Republicans. No. That happened right here in Minnesota. And I'm going to tell you this here. With Tim Walz being down in the numbers right now, being one of the worst governors in the state, in the United States, Tim Walz is pathetic. Pathetic. What the Republicans is going to have to do to get Lisa anywhere close to winning Hennepin County, anywhere close to winning in Duluth, anywhere close to winning Rochester, anywhere close to winning St. Cloud. What they have to do in the next year, is going to be breathtaking. What they have to do. Nobody knows this lady. Nobody knows who Lisa is. Except for out in the rocks and cows, out in the sticks, out in the rural area, because she's a Republican. And I doubt if any of them really know who this woman is. They don't really know her in Rochester. They damn well don't know her pretty much in Hennepin County. I don't know how much they know of her in Duluth. So you're talking about an uphill battle going against a governor who is unpopular somewhat. But hold on again. See all that red that you saw on that map that I just showed you? See all that red? Donald Trump lost Minnesota. See, Republicans love to run around talking about, look at us, we back in the White House. Okay. Guess where Donald Trump lost? Minnesota. That's how unpopular Republicans are here in this state. They'll win their little area. They win those little areas every time you turn around. They're winning those little red districts out there. Because the only thing they do is just keep feeding their people red meat. They don't feed them policy. They don't feed them bills. They just feed them crazy crap. And these people believe it, and then they vote. They don't feed them issues and things like that, because these people don't want to hear that. They want to hear CRT crap. You know what they gave them last election cycle? They swore up and down. Matter of fact, the same black man, bonehead, the same black man who ran around this state talking about CRT in schools and all this type of lie, he's at it again. It didn't work because parents knew that was a lie. It worked in Virginia. Youngkin got elected off of CRT crap, DEI crap. It didn't work here in Minnesota. Trump lost Minnesota. The Republicans lose statewide here all the time. You know why? Because they can't. Here's the Republicans' problem. And I can tell you this because I work with Scott Jensen. I work with Matt Burke. So it ain't like I woke up yesterday and I came up with this. The Republicans' problem is they can't go from spewing this crazy, outlandish red meat crap to coming in and talk about policy, talking about the issues that the people caring about. That's what you have to do when you come into Hennepin County. Forget this voter fraud, rigged election, all that. That stuff is for the white folks out there in Rocks and Cows. They love that crap. CRT, DEI, black folks. That's why they lose all the time. When you come into Hennepin County, it's issues. Where's the jobs? Black kids laying dead in the street every single night. Gun violence. Where's these guns coming from? Poor moms can't get a job because the bus route don't run as far as that. Those are the things you talk about. And no matter how many times, I told Scott Jensen, this is what I had Scott Jensen. I said, Scott, you know one of the biggest things that you can come into the black community and talk about? Free phone calls for the prisons. I said, dude, if you can get because Scott was looking for a talking point to come into the black community, to be able to talk to the black community. Myself, a good friend of mine, I got the picture. I can put the picture out here. Like I said, I don't say nothing and I don't talk about nothing that I can't prove. So we sat at this restaurant, right, with Scott Jensen when Scott was, right before Scott was about to announce. And I said, Scott, here's what I got for you. One of the things that you can come into the black community, I said, because you got these black men that's been railroaded, put into jail, they ain't got no money, and they can't call home, they can't call their family, they can't call their kids. It's very, very important for these men to be able to call their kids. I said, and these phone companies are making a crap load of money off of these men. I said, come into the community and talk about free phone calls for the prisoners, for people who are in prison for these men. Those are issues the black community is dealing with. These black men being able to talk to their kids from prison. Those are issues. These are things that I'm talking about. If you don't want to talk issues, Scott, you cannot come into Hennepin County. You can't come into Hennepin County talking about CRT, dude. Rigged elections and all this here type of stuff. That ain't going to work. But because he can't do that, because they can't transition from giving their base stupid red meat to coming in and actually speaking on issues, the problems that plague people's lives every single day. Because Republicans can't come in to do that in black communities because they don't understand black people. The only black people they understand are these coons that they go out and find that want to get in front of a TV camera talking about, I left the plantation. I'm now a Republican. What do you want me to say? And they stick their hands up these black folks' back and they run up. It's like John Justice. Listen to John Justice show. He got a couple of them on there. He does that too. Those are not the black people John Justice have on his show. That ain't black. That ain't black. That ain't black. You want to come into the black community, issues. And no matter how many times they say that to the Republican Party, they just don't get it. Because I don't really think they want to get it. I don't really think. So, Hennepin County, Duluth, and Rochester has a blue wall. Even though in Hennepin County, even Republicans call themselves independents. Even Republicans call themselves. There ain't a Republican that runs for city council in the Twin Cities. There's not a Republican that run for mayor in the Twin Cities. There's not a Republican that run for park board, run for city waterman, dog catcher. They ain't a Republican to do it. Nothing. Nothing. And the few Republicans that run around there that, try to, be all, oh, I'm a Republican. People look at me and be like, psh. And then they come back and go, well, I'm an independent now. I'm a libertarian. There's a lot of people that turn libertarian like that. But they've got to try to sell Lisa. Once she gets into Hennepin County. I don't think they can do it. If they want, like I said, if they wanted this woman to be running for governor in the state of Minnesota, she got to come to the community. She's got to come down here where people that she never deals with, probably ain't never shook their hands. She's got to deal with the dirty of the grimiest of the people, the poor people. She got to deal with them people. And the Republicans have a hard time dealing with poor people. Let's just be real about the situation. The Republicans have done everything they possibly can to co-opt the word Christian. And no, none of them live a Christian life. They don't live. Get out of here. Get out of here. Oh, yeah, they do. They just skips over the part that says take care of the oppressed. Take care of the people who are poor. Take care of the needy. They skip over that part. No, they do. Trust me when I say that. And y'all know I'm right. You know I'm right. It's just y'all getting pissed off now when somebody tells the damn truth. So they're going to try to march Lisa into the community. I'm just going to say this here from being someone who has worked with Kristen Robinson. And I'm not touting for her, so don't just stop. They would know if Kristen Robinson and Lisa came and stood in the parking lot of my church, Kristen Robinson would be picked out of everybody. Why? Because when we fed Minneapolis, when the governor pretty much walked away from a lot of poor people, and he still won. Hold on. He still won even after that part too. Kristen Robinson spent time in my parking lot of my church handing out food, bags. Kristen Robinson spent time filling up my church with truckloads of food, diapers, milk, laundry detergents, and all that there type of stuff. Lisa, I ain't never seen Lisa in the black community doing nothing. 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 Ain't never heard of Lisa being in the black community. Ain't never seen her down at the homeless camps. Ain't never seen her walking the streets down there doing nothing. So how you gonna put this woman up to be governor and she ain't never spent time with the peasants? That's like a king that just sits in his castle and looks out his window at the poor and the needy. Ain't never come down to shake nobody's hand, ain't never drove through, ain't never talked to nobody, ain't never put no time into any of the women's shelters. Nothing. But but she wants to be the. So when she's governor, if she become governor, so she's not going to deal with people like me. I don't get a session with the king. So you're gonna put her up on a platter on a pedestal, and the only thing we get to do is just walk by and look. We don't get to talk to her. We don't get to ask questions, because that's basically what it comes down to be. How can she be the governor of this state and she don't know anything about the biggest part, the majority of the state? She has zero clue. And you're going to put her up there for her to be governor. See, this is what I mean. Republicans, I think you guys put people up just to do it. Not because you think you're going to win. Not because you're going to put the work in to win. So you can say, well, at least we put somebody up. Nope, they didn't win, but we put somebody up. If you put her up to win. Put her in a good spot to win. Because right now you're not. If you're rolling her out because y'all know her, because it's her, nobody knows this woman. So how are you going to put this woman out to be the governor of the state of Minnesota and nobody knows her? She ain't been in places. She ain't done nothing with nobody. She ain't put no time in. But y'all want her to be the governor. Kristen Robinson has put more time into helping poor people. Not just poor black people. It's poor white. Hold on. See, that's another thing that gets me about some people, too. Hold on one second. You know what? Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I did not have... Oh, shoot. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. All right. Because I didn't, you know what? Something was telling me that people was probably commenting. Chief is on tonight. I see Jeremy is here tonight. Kelly is here tonight. Kelly said, who's going to win? Walls is going to win. That's who's going to win, Kelly. Make me understand. Seriously. Make me understand how the Republican Party thinks. Because they're not going to do any work. That's the thing that I'm talking about. I know the Republican Party. They're not doing work. They're not, you know how much work you got to put into Lisa, trying to get Lisa in front of people so people can know who this woman is? And you really think the Republican Party is going to do work? Get out of here. Come on, Kelly. See, Jeff is on. Hey, Jeff, how you doing, man? Come on, Kelly. No, the Republican ain't going to put in no work. They don't work. They don't put in work. Like I said, look at what they did with the Somalians. They went down there and found a group of Somalians that was pissed off, pushed them in front of a camera, and that's their outreach. Like I said before, right now, if you took Lisa downtown and you took Kristen Robinson, put him on a corner, more people will recognize Kristen Robinson for the work that she has done in Minneapolis, and they would not know who the hell Lisa was. Because she ain't done nothing, man. She's done nothing. She ain't do nothing in St. Paul. Now, I can make a phone call real quick to a couple of organizations that I know up in Duluth and say, hey, you ever heard of this woman? And see what they say. But I don't think I need to make that phone call because I can guarantee you they'll sit there and go, who? Wait a minute, who are you talking about? I don't even know who that is. So let's sit back and let's see what type of work the Republican Party is willing to do. Because she needs Rochester. She needs some votes from Duluth, St. Cloud, and a couple of those squares that y'all saw that was blue going to the west of Minnesota. She needs those. And if they're not willing to put in the work to go into these communities to talk to these people, the peasants, the ones that they don't never. Scott Jensen wouldn't even go into the community. The Republicans wouldn't go into the community. The only one that went into the community was Ryan Wilson. Here's the sad part about the situation with Ryan Wilson. That man should have won. But because the ticket was so bad, because the Republican, he lost. That man, Ryan Wilson, should have won his seat. Ryan did everything he was supposed to do. But because of that ticket, if there was some way that he could have, Ryan Wilson came to Hennepin County. Ryan Wilson came to the black churches. But everybody was like, that's a bad ticket. And it's sad that that man is on the ticket. Him. He's a good dude. He's a good dude. So my understanding, hold on, is they were going to try to link Ryan Wilson, good dude, with Lisa. I don't think it's going to work. Again, the Republican Party has a long road and a lot of work behind them in order to get this woman into the office. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to watch. Okay? And if they do, I want to hear her language. I'm going to go to a couple of her stumps. I want to hear her language. I want to hear, is this, if this is red meat, rural speak, or if this is general election, everybody is a part of what I'm trying to have done in Minnesota speak. That's what I want to see. I want to see if she's going to come out with this crazy crap that the Republicans have to do, because that's what the base wants. Yes, it is. Or if she's going to speak normal, everyday English to people. If she's going to talk about the issues here in Minnesota. Because Tim Walz already said point blank, I don't care who the Republicans put against me. I'm running against Donald Trump. That's what he said. He said, Donald Trump. Tim Walz have not mentioned not one Republican's name here in Minnesota. Not once. They've been talking about his name. Every Republican have said Tim Walz at least 150 times. Tim Walz has not said not one Republican's name. Think about that for a second. He's running against all of these people here in Minnesota, Republicans, and he ain't never mentioned their name because he's smart. He knows Donald Trump lost Minnesota. He knows how people feel inside the belt, 394, 494, 694, 610, 169 loop. He knows how they feel. Go in there saying that the Republicans inside that loop wait till they get outside the loop to put their red hat on. They wait till they get outside the loop to put that red hat on. That's how bad. No, I'm telling y'all, if y'all don't know, y'all need to go in there and sit down for a minute. Go to a black woman's beauty salon and sit there and listen. Just listen. And then you be coming out of there going, damn, they hate Trump. Trump lost Minnesota. He did. Trump lost Duluth. Trump lost the Twin Cities. Trump lost Rochester. He did. Look it up. I'm not telling you something that you can't look up yourself. He lost. Everybody voted for Harris. And what are the Democrats going to do with Lisa? They're going to paint her as a Trumpy. Trump wannabe. She followed Trump's rules. That's what they're going to do. That's what they do to all the Republicans. Only thing you have to do, I'm going to show you how bad. Watch this. I'm going to show you how much they hate Republicans and hate Trump inside the Twin Cities. True story. Mayor Fry, they have done everything they possibly can do to paint him as Trump. That's how bad it is. That they can take a Democrat, put a Republican name onto him, or call him Republican, and people will not vote for him. The sitting mayor, people are calling him a Trump wannabe, Trump surrogate, Trump this, Trump that. True story. True story. And don't let, like, Dustin, y'all know who Dusty is, right? I've been telling that, no, don't talk about Fry. Any Republican in the state of Minnesota, don't mention Fry's name. Because the minute you do, they're going to tie you, being a Republican, to Fry. And people will be like, yeah, we know he's the mayor, and I voted for him last time, but for some reason, he's looking a little different with that Trump on him. Go look for yourself. That's how bad it is when it comes to Republicans in the Twin Cities. Because for years, you go, well, why is that, Rev? Because for years, the Republican Party has sat back and let the Democrats label them, call them names, say they're this, KKK, hate black people, hate Mexicans, hate immigrants. For years, people have heard the same thing. And the Republicans have never tried to come into the city to say, look, we are normal people. We're just like you. We go to the same grocery stores you do. Our kids probably swim in the same pool that we swim. I drive the same road as you do. I might have been the one waving at you on 610 this morning. But all of a sudden, they put the Republican on me, and you think I'm no good now. This is going to be the hardest road that the Republican Party has ever had to travel. Because they've got to make people believe that Lisa stands alone on herself, by herself. Just because she has ridden with the Republican Party, just because she calls herself a Republican, doesn't mean that she's a Donald Trumper. That's what they have to make people believe in order for her to win. Lisa has to come up with a different dialect when she's talking to people. She cannot give the Democratic Party sound bites that they can bring back into Hennepin County and go, see, she's just like Donald Trump. See, she's just like all of the other ones. Look at what Stephen Miller, Lord, the nose don't come into Hennepin County, especially in the black community, and say Stephen Miller or put Stephen Miller. If they can link her to Stephen Miller, she's done with. Yeah, she's done. She's done. And then if they put the Coon label on her, if they put the Clarence Thomas label on her, if they put the Byron McDonald label on her, if they put the Vernon Jones label on her, she's done. So she's got to figure out, how do I walk the walk and talk the talk? That's what she's got to figure out. Because the minute she slips and she says something stupid, she get like that woman in Virginia, and she say something like, if they ask her a question about reparations, because it's going to come up, especially with her, Lord, she better know how to answer that question. She better know how to answer that question. If they ask her about reparations here in Minnesota, she better know how to answer that question, because one false move and she's done. Look at the woman in Virginia. Look at the woman in Virginia. You can hate Barack Obama for going over there if you want, but before Barack went to Virginia, black folks was not voting for her. Look it up for yourself. Now, these right-wing influencers and these right-wing coons who love to start trouble and swear up and down there is no racism, but the minute someone does something to, like her, that now we finally start seeing color. Oh, I see color now. This woman is not a foundational black American. She's not an ADOS. An African-American descendant of slaves. She is not. Yes, her skin color is like mine, but she's not a black American. See, that's what we've been trying to get away from. Because everybody that come over here that look like this, yes, you do. The Democrats gave everybody the POC. That's what they was calling us. People of color. We got rid of that color a long time ago, but yet the white liberals was like, we got to find a way to use people of color is what they gave us, correct? And then black folks, watch this. Then black folks was getting upset because they was running around here calling us people of color. And they go, well, you know what? Let's do this here. Let's do BIPOC, black/people of color. No. That's why when everybody's running around here talking about, matter of fact, let me do this here real quick. So was it Sunday? Sunday night, I had a troll. I usually get trolls, and I always let them talk. That's why I tell you, please don't mess with my trolls. I'm serious. I keep telling y'all that. Leave my trolls alone. I enjoy my trolls. Y'all just sit back and watch the show. Y'all sit back, just watch the show. See, here's the thing that I've learned about people on Twitter. Y'all don't know how to fight Satan. Y'all don't. Because I seen some of y'all fighting some trolls that's on you guys on your page, and y'all be crashing out before the troll crashes out. Because y'all don't know how to fight Satan. You don't. You think you do. You think I be watching it. I be watching it going down. I'm reading it. I'm like, man, how did you get here with this person? I'm reading it. Go, how did you get? Because you don't know how to fight Satan. That's why I tell you when you see them on my page, don't say nothing. Let me show you how to do this. Because the minute they crash out, and they do, just like the ones yesterday, that's all I was waiting for them to call me names. Call me racist, or call me a coon, or bastard, or whatever they call, all the names. And I'm sitting there going, what y'all don't understand is this. There's nothing anybody on this here internet can say to me that's going to hurt my feelings worse than what I get when I'm dealing with a kid at 2:00 in the morning. You talk about, if y'all want to be hurt for me, come down there when them kids are calling me some of the worst things that they hurt my feelings. So when I come on here and I'm dealing with these clowns, that's peanut butter to me. That's nothing what they say, what they call me on here. You can call me a racist. You can call me a homophobe. You can call me a what's the new one they called me a couple days ago? Because I was talking about deportation. What do you call them people? I'm Somali, something Somali phobic and Somalophobic or whatever. All that stuff they call me. That stuff don't hurt me. I've been down the street. I've been down on Hennepin. I've been down on First Avenue. I've been down on Fifth Avenue dealing with the pros. The ones that can say stuff to you and literally cut you. These people on here, the crap that they try to pull and call me on here, people, that ain't no big. I laugh at these people. So I had this knucklehead on yesterday. Somebody said something about some Somalis. And then this person went back at him and told him that they was racist because of what they said about the Somali people. I read it. I didn't say anything about it because I didn't think it was racist. I'm like, come down in the black barbershop. If you think what that dude said yesterday was racist, if you think that's racist, you need to come to the black barbershop. Because I done heard worse than that. To me, that wasn't racist. It wasn't. Sorry. You can get mad at me. I've heard worse than that. So that's why I didn't say anything. I read it. whatever. And then the troll that was on my page called this person racist. So I called the troll racist so they can see what it feels like for you calling people racist. And they got all upset. Oh, you didn't say anything about the racist person that said that about the Somali community. It wasn't racist to me. Well, it wasn't. I'm just saying it wasn't. So that's why I didn't say anything. But anytime somebody come on my page, now if they would have said something stupid, something else that was deeply racist to what I consider about the Somali community, yeah, I'm going to say don't bring that on my page. Don't bring that on my page. But they were mad because I was talking about deportation. They were mad because I said that no elected official from Minnesota should have the right to mess with ICE when ICE is coming to town, to go up under the bridge on Lake and 31st. Lake and 31st. That they don't have a right to be messing with the people when they're doing their job. Now, I tell you what, I will be fair enough, and I'll say this here. I will start complaining about Trump when he come close to Obama's numbers. Trump ain't nowhere near the number of people that Obama deported from the United States. He is not. So when he come close to Obama numbers, then I'll start going, hey, Trump, that's enough. Now you're going crazy. You're at Obama status? Man, you crazy now. No, bro, you crazy. If you at Obama status and you going above Obama and how many people Obama booted to the curve, something's wrong with you, brother. You cannot take all these people. You cannot outdo Obama. I know you love to try, and Obama plays in your head. Yes, he does. Because Obama broke white people in the state in this state of these United States. Yeah, he did. Y'all got to admit it. He broke you. He definitely broke Trump. So Trump, if you want to here you go. I'll be fair. I'm gonna be fair. If you want to go after and try to catch up with Obama, so you can, don't pass him though, because Obama put a lot of people. Yes, he did. Obama was the deporter in chief. He was, and Trump is nowhere near Obama numbers. He isn't. So they got mad at me because I was talking about Obama and how many people he deported from these United States. And because of that, I was every name in the book yesterday. They tried everything. They even came up with, well, how do you feel about the LGBTQ, Rev? And I'll say what I've always said. I ain't got no right to judge nobody. God, when I read my book, nothing ever jumps off the page that says, Rev, you got every right to judge everybody in these United States of America. It ain't never said that. It ain't never said that. I don't bother nobody, and I don't want nobody to bother me. If Steve and Steve want to play swords with each other, that ain't my business. That ain't my business at all. And I ain't bothering them. But one day, they got to answer to that. And it ain't for me. It ain't for me to go knock on their door and say, in Leviticus, it says that if a man lies with a man as he lies with a, it ain't my right. They can read that for themselves in that book. It's in Leviticus. That's what it says. If we going that's one thing they always try to get me on. We got gay people. We got gay people in our church. There's gay people in the bird. There's gay people in the choir. They don't bother me. They come in, they listen to what I say, and then they go home. I don't ask them what they do at home. That's their business. That's not my business. But they always try to get me on that. So what I'm saying, people, here, how far am I over? 8 minutes. So what I'm saying here is simple, people. Okay? Again, if you see them trolls, just sit back, man. Enjoy the show. Because like I said, there's nothing they can say to me. There's not a name they can call me that ain't already been called. And there's nothing they can do to cut my skin. Because I bet, like I said, y'all want these kids. When you telling these kids on a Friday night it's 2:00 in the morning and they don't need to be out in the streets, or you telling them to stop doing some of the stuff that they be doing on side of buildings. That's all I'm saying. To stop it. And the words that come out of these kids' mouth. Look, there's nobody on this thing that can touch me. So I'm just saying, people, sit back and enjoy the show. Because I'm going to give you a show. Because I'm going to let them talk. I'm going to give you a show. Trust me when I say that. But at the end of the day, people, like I said before, the Republican Party, if this is the route they're going to take, they have a lot of work to do. So I'm going to sit back and I'm going to see if they do the work. I'm going to see who they go and tap and get help from the community, and whether it's the Hispanic community, which I know Victor very well. He's a staple and a big main piece in the Hispanic community. Know him very well. I even know a couple of Somalis that are not with that group that they went and got. Nice ones. A few other people. So we'll sit back and we'll see. But if they're not willing to do the work, there's no reason for Lisa to run at all. There's no reason for her to run. Because that would be a cakewalk. That will be a cakewalk with Tim Walz and Lisa if Lisa ran for governor of these states, of this state of Minnesota, and the Republicans don't put in the work. It will be a cakewalk. It will be the easiest victory. It will be so easy of a victory. Tim Walz could not even say her name one time. And I'm going to be monitoring to see when he actually says her name, or when he actually says a Republican name. Because right now, only thing he said is Trump. He haven't said a Republican's name, not one of these candidates. Because right now he don't have to. Right now he don't have to, because there's not a Republican candidate that has a message that is actually going to resonate in the places that the Republicans need votes. That's my 2 cents. So it's up to the Republicans to prove me wrong. And this is what I'm going to say. I don't think they can. I don't see it. I don't see anyone in the Republican Party who has the sense to be able to put together something that's going to resonate with people that they don't deal with all the time because they don't know how to deal with certain people. They don't. Trust me, I know. Doc J says, what do we got, Doc? Someone sincere in his belief is not threatened by people with different. You're right, Doc. These people don't bug me. They don't bother me at all. There's nothing they can say that's gonna to make me wild out. And normally, if you watch these people, they come in and they try to be all smart and this, and I just keep letting them talk, and I just keep talking to them, and all of a sudden, boom, they start calling me names, and then they saying I'm this and I'm that, and they even called me a Republican yesterday, right? Did y'all see that? They even called me a Republican. That's how bad it got. That's how I knew I had them. Oh, you're a Republican. You blah, blah, blah. Who did you vote for? Did you vote for blah, blah? Did you vote for this here? You're a Republican. You've already been Republican. I saw what you say you were a Republican. That's what I knew I had them when they put the Republican on me. That's what they do. They get mad at you and they upset. They will call you a Republican. That's worse than calling me a nigga. I'd be like, no, don't call me a Republican. Call me a nigga. Call me a Negro. But don't call me a Republican. Just don't. That's like a vampire. Like you walking up with garlic in one hand and a cross in the other hand. That's how bad it is. Y'all think I'm joking? I'm not kidding. That's how bad it is to be a Republican in the state of Minnesota. That's how bad it is. Hey, Doc, did I tell you? I didn't tell you I talked. Did I tell you I talked to your friend in the space, right? That cat got an uphill battle. And like I told him, if he does what's right, and it sounds like he's doing everything right, man. He's out in the streets. He's dealing with the poor people that will probably never know. Like I told him, go deal with people that if you're in the grocery store, they walk up and shake your hand and say hi. And those are the people that are the down people, right? Those are the people. But if this guy he's running against got all his money, this dude is fighting a nickel and dime campaign, bro. But he can win with a nickel and dime campaign. He can win if he can get those people, right, who feel like they've never been counted, who feel like nobody cares about them, who feel like nobody will come talk to them, nobody will be around them, nobody will give them the time of day. He got to get out there and go to a couple of them rallies that them black folks put on. Go to a couple of them get ups that the Mexicans have out in you guys' area. I know how many Mexicans you guys got out there. Go have him go to a couple of them things, man. Get out there and be proud. Yeah, you got it. And that's the whole thing that I could never understand. Like I said, I could never understand about the Republican Party. The Republican Party would rather go get a few Negroes and throw money at those few Negroes, and then those Negroes run around smiling on social media. Ain't never been in the community. I have never seen one Republican in the community. One black Republican in the community. Well, Walter came down a couple times with his tent and stuff like that. But I've soon come to find out that black people know who Walter is, and I didn't even think they knew who he was. I didn't realize black people in the community knew who Walter Hudson was. But apparently, you be walking in going, oh, you know Walter Hudson. That's how they do in the barber chair. Walter Hudson. There was a time, Walter will tell you, I looked Walter dead in his face. Walter and I was in this bar in Sartell. And there was a time I believed that we could make a good run with Walter Hudson. There was a time I believed that. And I looked Walter dead in his face and I said it. Dude, if we get going, you could be the governor of this state of Minnesota. That's how much I believed in Walter at one time. But then Walter showed me who he really was. If Walter was the last man on earth, I would not vote for him for anything. Dog poop scooper picker upper. He would not get my vote. But there was a time that I thought that this cat, this dude, could be the next governor of the state of Minnesota. I'm not kidding you. I looked him dead. I looked him and his wife dead in their face. And that's exactly what I said to him. Dead in his face. He'll tell you, ask him. Got no reason to tell you nothing different. I wouldn't be here. I've always told this story too. Walter gave me my opportunity to be right here in front of you. When we had Black Minds Unchained, Walter was in the room, helped us with our name of our podcast that Lewis and I had. Walter took time from his show to give Lewis and I the opportunity to be on the air at iHeartRadio in St. Louis Park. That's a true story. And I will never I could never thank Walter enough for what he did for us then. Because anytime somebody come and help me and pick me up and put me in a different... Dude, if Walter called me today, say, Rev, I need you to do blah, 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 I would do it. I would do it. Because he went out of his way for me. But as far as like voting, not happening. Not happening. Helping him, I'll help him any day of the week. He knows that. He knows that. Voting, put him in office, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. But we're going to see. We're going to see what the Republicans are going to do. We're going to see how Lisa handles this. And we're going to definitely see where Lisa goes. We're definitely going to see where she goes. We're definitely going to see who she get involved with, who she tapped to come in to help her and do certain things. We'll see how that works out. And I'll be able to tell you if it's even worth it or not. But anyway, fam, I got to get out of here. I'm 21 minutes over with. I'm going to blame you all for it because I always blame myself every time I go over. But I'm going to blame you guys for it. Nobody's asking. They will lecture all day, but they will never ask. You're right, Doc. Like I said, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, the Hmong community is getting huge. The Asians over there in North and South, especially South, is getting huge, especially over in St. Paul. The Somalians, especially in St. Paul. I would definitely tap into there because there are some other Somalians over there that consider themselves to be conservative. I would definitely go over there. So we'll see what the Republicans do. They do what they always do every single year. Then it's going to be exactly what I just showed you. It's going to be all red, but the main votes are going to be coming out of those 3, 4, 5 areas, and they're going to lose again. And Tim Walz will walk back into the governor's mansion again. But I'm going to say this here also. If you're in Minneapolis and you listen to me, I need you to go basically save Minneapolis. If the election tomorrow, listen to me, people, and I'm not kidding when I say this. If the election tomorrow goes the wrong way, we're in trouble. We are in trouble. And there's a lot of people to blame for this. What you see going on right now in Minneapolis, there's a lot of people blamed for this. Like I said, I blame the black people for sitting back, not fighting, not saying anything, hoping that, the Democrats are going to save us and give us money and reparations was going to do this here. Instead of us getting together, pooling our money together and start making a difference in the community, we sat back. The white liberal had beat us down so much that we didn't even try to fight this. We didn't even try. We watched the Somali community come in here and basically take over the black community. That's what they did. Let's be real. And we did, and we said nothing. We watched the white liberal use the Somali community for power. That's exactly what this is about. And the Democrats have come to find out now that they have opened a can of worms that you cannot put back in. But if tomorrow, if Fry is voted back into office, at least for right now, that's a stopgap until we can come up with something else. But if Fry is elected out of office on tomorrow, you're about to watch the city fall. Listen to what I just said. You're about to watch a city fall. If you think that you're going to be going down there and you're going to be safe because they pull it in all the police officer, all the state troopers for you to go watch a baseball game, for you go to watch a football game, for you go to watch a basketball game, that's not going to be happening. These people hate everything about law enforcement. If Brian O'Hara leaves because of what is about to happen down there, there's going to be a lot of other cops that's going to be following him. The Democratic Socialists have no clue what they're doing. They don't know how to run a city. They don't know how to get along with the police officers. And if a police officer is stupid enough, and I'm going to say you blame him for this, to stick around, and he make a mistake and he ends up in prison, don't get mad. Don't get mad at the city council. Don't get mad at him, because he knew what they're doing. He knew what these Democratic Socialists, how they act, how they believe, what they think. Because they're going to try to get rid of police immunity. That's going to be the big thing that's going to be on the table. Police immunity. They are going to go after this police union like you wouldn't believe. So now all the police are gone. You go down there, talking about going to a Vikings game. You park in one of those ramps. You're putting yourself and everybody else at danger, especially at night. People, it's not going to get any better. It's not going to get any better. And if you take yourself down there and you go to one of those bars and you get drunk and they see you as an easy lick and they jump you and beat you, you got nobody to blame but yourself. You got nobody to blame but yourself. That man who was getting in his car after he worked those hours to go home to be with his wife and his children, and because some thug, no good, bottom pit piece of shit wanted his vehicle, This man lost his life. This man will never walk into his home to see his kids and see his wife ever again. His wife and kids will never be waiting at the door for him to come home ever again because his life was taken. Now imagine a police force with half of what they have now, and you go down there. Y'all don't realize what we're about to get into. I really don't believe y'all realize what we're about to get into. At least the police right now can keep some of the bad guys in-house. Once they start running off these police officers, it's already out in Orono. It's already out in Minnetonka. It's already out in Edina. It's already out in Bloomington, Richfield. But until it gets to your door, you don't care. You doesn't matter to you. Oh, I don't need to go downtown. I'll just stay in my little area. Okay. 5 years from now, let all of us come back and we'll see what you think. If Fry does not get back in the office on tomorrow, may God help the state of Minnesota. I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm saying that because I know what these people are about. I'm out, fam. May God help us all. May God help us all. Y'all have a good night. Peace. I'm out.